and sign up for the Hive newsletter for updates. Scan that QR code. Check the link in the description of this video. Just one thing before we go back up to the desk. Another offering on one of these small cappers. This time it's BHAT, so Blue Hat, pricing a 3.9 million registered direct offering of 55.95 million ordinary shares. That's 7 cents a share. Now down 28%. So between that and BHAT, that is now two that have taken the plunge in the market from runners that we had that were running stocks that were running yesterday in small cap. Just be careful. I feel like with the quantum and all that, people are taking advantage of the recent rallies in some small cappers, and which is what companies should do. I mean, the idea is to be able to raise capital when they get appreciation. You can't really hate that for doing it, but it doesn't ever look good when you're holding the stock.
All right. What doesn't look good too is your portfolio if you own AMD.
Yeah, downside this morning. Kind of an interesting story here in relation to AMD. ABSCI, which is ABSI, the ticker, up 40% here this morning on this. AMD going to invest $20 million into ADSI, and I mean, there's been a lot of people that have had this opinion in the past, but I think this is actually one of the more promising and kind of cool things to watch out for when it comes to AI, and that's the drug side of things, pharmaceutical side of things, and how they can create new drugs.
It definitely shortens the length of the product development, or the drug development, if you could call it that. So here's what the key benefits include according to the company. Improved performance for biologic modeling. So biologics are a different type of drug. They're not chemically based, so keep that in mind. Also, reduced infrastructures for AI workloads and faster innovation cycles, as we kind of just talked about there. That's the good side of things for AMD, but they also did catch a downgrade, Brendo. HSBC double downgrading AMD from buy to reduce, slashing the price target markedly here from 200 to 110. This follows a 24% drop in AMD shares price over the past 3 months. Here's the reason. So HSBC says they are highlighting concerns about AMD's AI GPU roadmap, citing it as less competitive than initially expected. They're also worried about the MI325 GPU launch, saying it received a lukewarm response, partly due to the issues with high bandwidth memory vis-a-vis Samsung. We know Samsung's involved in that, as well as SK Hynix and Micron. And then AMD also expects to release the MI350 in late 2025, but it will lack in competitive AI edge, and apparently, according to analysts, it's already behind Blackwell, and it hasn't even been released yet.
We'll keep an eye on it. Gap is filled from last week on this move downside here. We're trying desperately to hold on to 125 here, guys. What's the deal here for AMD?
Yesterday, I'll just go over. We got a super chat earlier about yesterday's trade on AMD, and I just wanted to say, like, we didn't even trade it until the end. Here it was yesterday. We didn't trade this until basically 10:30 when we had that huge move down off the open there in all of the chip names, and AMD bounced back, hit the 50-period moving average, and then boom to the downside, and that was just like planting those purple flowers. And then we were starting to cover more here as we came back. We didn't have too many shares left, but we started to cover into this area. Once we broke through the 200, it was gonzo. Get our last piece out right there. Then it came up into 130. Now you can't see it right now, so I'm going to zoom out of that, but I just wanted to show you that we were on this, and it was the number one P&L name yesterday, so I'm glad it's on the list here again today. And then you can see the trade yesterday, the 130 was right into here. Did this pre-market sort of low that once we broke. I mean, you know, realistically, that's 930, right? So like the market's already open here. So these are the pre-market levels, which is right into here, which is 130 almost right on. So once we had broke through that, we actually had a bump up at 10 o'clock, which is why we're like, what? AMD is strong. Once that came back in like that and fell through, there's the short again, and then there's the short at 130 on the pre-market level. So if you're going to look at AMD, I have NVIDIA written down as the number one trade for me again today, even though I was saying this to Obi, it's like he and I lost on NVIDIA yesterday, so it was obviously a bloodbath for the stock, but we'll wait to see today. We'll get some revenge on it, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Not revenge, I'm just going to go back and see if maybe it takes it on us. What about this pre-market high right here of 125.20? So like that would be, if you're going to short the name, I would think you got to try it at 125 into 125.50, because then you have a huge gap fill up to 127. So it's very dangerous to trade it in this area. So I would say if you're looking short right now, you kind of got to use like 125.50 probably as your out. because you don't want it to drift up into here, and then you have to make a decision down $2, $3, which sometimes I'll make that trade, and it's just like, why am I short when you should be short here? So to me, the short would still be getting it back to green, so 127.50 at the high. So I'd be shorting up here, for sure, if it makes that run. We'll already be short NVIDIA though, if that happens. And then on the downside, I don't have a level right now to punch short, because you're already bouncing off VWAP. If we use the same strategy as yesterday and we short the pre-market bottom, that's 123. So I guess you could go there. I don't know. For some reason, I don't have like very good feel on AMD right now.
I think if it goes up, I'm going to look for a mean revert, but there's a lot of garbage between 126 quarter and where we bottomed out yesterday. On the 15-minute, yeah, this closed here, but then it's just a gap that lost, a failed breakout. So really the resistance is in and around 126, so if it pops up, mean revert type trade. At the open, so often, you go to short a pop, and you get to levels you put the short on. No, this time it actually always want to let it do some kind of a reverse of a trend if this one's going to go to the upside. And you already mentioned NVIDIA's got a pretty tight range with yesterday's afternoon highs and a flat bottom of 140. And I just want to remind everybody that Intel, it's not an all-time low break, but it is about 1975. This is a flat bottom here on Intel. Down 0.7. If we lose this bottom, Intel has its all-time low. It has its 52-week low that's in play if it breaks that 1975. So it looks like that one could be breaking this morning. Some room. It's like 1875 is the local bottom, and like 1850 is the 52-week low.
So just really quickly, because it is number one trade here, it is on the sticky note. You can go find it at Trader TV, Sean. Only 4 minutes ago, we'll talk about crypto, but look at NVIDIA. Yesterday, we were like trying to buy this dip. Horrible. Thank God we stopped in and around here. That's where I want to short again. So I just feel like if NVIDIA, we get a nice little bump up. There's a buy imbalance on NVIDIA right now, so that's a nice move to the high side. I can actually show it to you. We're looking to go short. Okay, sell on Rigetti. There's buy on NVIDIA right there, 581,000 shares. Sell on IonQ. There's a buy on that BHAT that Neil talked about. There's an XTIA. So there's a lot of big names. There's Fubo on there. So there's some runners on the list. We got to go, but right into here. This is 145 into 146. And this is the area that I'm concerned with NVIDIA. And man, we can get there easily. It's up 1.47%. If I'm thinking short today, let this thing run up if it wants to go, and then maybe we'll catch it on the downside. I'm already offering those prices on NVIDIA. Okay, back to the desk as crypto breaks 100.
IBIT continuing to slide down 1% right now after a big down day yesterday. If you zoom out a little bit, though, I mean, a lot of support coming into play in the next little while here, potentially around 54 down to 52 for IBIT, the ETF. Obviously, there's no real significant story.
No, I have a technical perspective to this. So, Bitcoin dropped aggressively in price yesterday. You guys already know that, but it's the relative strength index that's very important to me here. So have a look at this over here. So before we had that big move down, Fabian, on Bitcoin, we were in an overbought position at 87.5, and then we dropped markedly, taking down that 20 point area on the RSI, and we had a 7.5 print. Now this is important here. So for Bitcoin dropping to oversold levels, hitting that 8.5 on the hourly, that was the lowest it had done that since trading at the $60,000 level. So historically, Bitcoin often rebounds after entering oversold RSI territory, especially in these bull markets. So we'll have to keep an eye to see what Bitcoin does today.
Thoughts, guys, for crypto today.
So once we're underneath that 98 again, 97.5, 98 level, which we obviously are. Mara failed support at 20 in the afternoon. 1950 was the short level, and that went to 19. Today, pre-market tops are in front of 19, so 20, 19, and a half, 19. Unless we're breaking out above 98 again on BTC, shorts in the 19 on Mara. It's got a pretty big gap fill because of the rally that it had on the 3rd, but let's just see what it can do. If it does bounce up, looking to short the top there, and specifically Mara, that's when I like shorting when Bitcoin is weak.
Similar kind of talk there. We already, we're looking at for 15 period moving average. I think right now, with the market pulling back in, we got to stay looking short on crypto, and then my choice is always on IBIT. But I've also said too that I thought Coinbase right now, we only have less than a minute left, but I thought Coinbase was a good opportunity, kind of like a proxy here, that if Bitcoin falls and you get sort of alt season happening again, Coinbase does benefit from altcoin trading as well. So I think that Coinbase has an opportunity here down at 240 if we can get a little bit lower on that. That's where I'd be looking to pick some up here. Apparently Roblox popping a little bit, which is fine. All right, so here we go. We are almost ready.
Oh yeah, Roblox at 3%, looking really good there. There is a sizable imbalance on D-Wave to the buy side of 1.5 million shares worth watching, but this Hump Day Bell brought to you by Hive Digital. Check them out, HIVE on the NASDAQ. So Adara, Hump Day, Fed Minutes Day in 2 and 1, ring it.
That's right, I forgot about that Fed minutes situation. All right, okay, so let's do this, man. I mean, we're here right now, we're ready to rock and roll. The NASDAQ is pulling back a little bit, but pretty flat here to start with. NASDAQ down 0.1, S&P 500 down 0.1 as well. So a little bit of a mixed bag. We'll zoom in just a little bit to see if we can see something here. On Tesla, Tesla 394 high, Euro down 398. Let's see if the market wants to run or not on TSLA. My out on Silo is a breakthrough 160. I don't have any offers out other than a lot higher than this. So we're at 217 to get some out right now. 225, 250s for SILO. Let's go, man. It is going to be one of maybe the biggest trade percentage-wise, but we're going to wait for quantum names as well. I actually forgot to look at quantum names. All right, Silo's starting to go a little bit. Maybe we'll take something out.
Quantum names oddly quiet at the open here. So I think you got to give them, if the stock is down 30% or some of them 20%, I think you've got to be patient. I was expecting maybe you get an SSR bounce and we fade off a VWAP here at $7 even. NVIDIA does not charge up in the 143. It kind of tags 142 half and coming back in. AMD already heading to the downside. So it doesn't even test 126 there on AMD. It's already fading. Intel hasn't broken that flat bottom at 1975. It's about 12 pennies away. So decent chance that could be the first thing while we, I guess, await some action on the quantum names. QBTS is the one I'm watching the most closely. I haven't really checked Brigade just yet. QBTS, if it does make a pop, still looking for that 7 fade. AMD's now at the lows already. That one's flushing. Yeah, it could be Intel.
By the way, I mean, let's just keep on going with this one. Let's hit the sirens up right now in the trade. We've got on right here is Silo, and it is an absolute monster there to the north side for SILO. All right, so NVIDIA, Neil's talking about AMD. I'm trying to pick my poison a little bit with NVDA, but it's still not there. Wow, Silo is just Moon City, Mr. Roberts. There it goes, 250 coming into play right now on SILO as we clean it out, man. Almost $1 in the money on a $2 name. Shout out to Tisha, shout out to everybody there that is with us right now. There it goes. It is SILO on what is just an absolute banger right there. We've still got on about like 30% of this. Doesn't look like it might want to halt. We're waiting at 295 for this one. Huge move up there for SILO. NVIDIA does pop a little bit, but then fades back out again. So, yeah, 143.50. Maybe we've got to start there. I'm just going to watch out for Silo.
Yeah, the Silo is, well, you know what, it's a great show, it's a great trade. That's actually a really good show on Apple TV. But QBTS just made a monster bottoming tail candle here. It does feel like if it doesn't pop after this kind of a rejection of the lows, might just have to take a breakdown. I don't think we're going to get $7, unfortunately, on this. We thought we'd go pop and fade. There just isn't a pop to be had here on QBTS. NVIDIA is still, why is NVIDIA doing nothing when AMD is absolutely tanking? AMD is really tanking. Intel hasn't broken the low, which doesn't make any sense. AMD's down 4% and continuing. Why has Intel broken that low? Intel doesn't want to hold and break underneath that bottom. Oh, we forgot Micron. Micron does not hold on to support, and it just turned red. Like still like this, but prior day low, and then previous day high was at 101.5. That's the only spot I'm going to look for bounce on that name. I'm going to give QBTS another chance here to maybe try to bounce, but it looks like it is just going to be flat bottom breaks on the if you're taking even dollar break, remember it's short seller stricken, so it's not like you can guarantee you're going to get a fill if you hit the bid as it's going through a level. Shorting the pops is generally what you want to do on these SSR.
Yeah, we've got a new position alert right here, guys. So we'll watch out for it, but it's in there right now, and that is going to be AMD. We just talked about what we liked on it, where we liked it, and it just broke through that 123 level. So we're going to start the short now. We've missed it already. We're not in this very many shares. You don't want to just like pile into stuff in case. Okay, there goes Tesla, by the way. We are really starting. Okay, so we're starting to get upside. Yeah, exactly. So I'm short right now. On Tesla. But right now, AMD short against 123.30s. Okay, that's our short. We are now into another position right now. It's Tesla. So there goes Tesla all the way up to that 400 level. This is the spot that we thought we liked. So now, okay, it's here. So we are now short at 398.40s here on Tesla. Let's see if we can get some 397s or so, and then we'll work on it from there. But there goes Tesla all the way to the upside. The level that we wanted is here on TSLA.
Tesla getting right up there with the market as well, trying to break out these local highs. They did get MAR going into that 19, but here's the NASDAQ. 3 or 4 times we tested 21.4. Looks like we're headed for another test on that level. Some strength coming in. Bitcoin's trying to take that 96. Still so weak on AMD relative to NVIDIA. This is going to be worth monitoring because NVIDIA is doing that. There's like that higher low. Both like holding on to VWAP. It's almost at this pre-market high. Also going to be yesterday afternoon, 143. That is the curl. Still no real trade intel because that just popped back up to 20 bucks. So the move to the upside is very real here. But I'm only in Mara, shorting this one back into VWAP. As it pulls back in, we'll still get to 18.6, 18.7.
Guys, big trade alert here on AMD, man. We're short at 122.80. Big trade alert right there. And $2 now in the money on Tesla. Oh boy. So far so good. What's up, Adara?
Right off the open, up about 8.7%. Meta announcing earlier this morning that they're going to be testing this feature that will allow buyers to browse with the listings from eBay on Facebook Marketplace. So some Facebook Marketplace eBay integration here being announced by Meta. EPAY up about 9% with a 4.38% short float, guys. Back to you.
Right now we have 3 positions, Neil, all of them more than $1 right now, and that's including Silo, which is right now in the money. We've got AMD, we've got Silo up to $3, and we've got Tesla down to $3.97. So big trade alert right now over here as we just fade the plays, man. We talked about trying to be short today. That's exactly where we are. We're taking some more out though, as this is really starting to get juicy, man. Great opportunity to get short today, and there it goes, man. Stay on that bear. If check nothing out, man. The sticky note. All we wrote down was shorts, and all we talked about all morning was the bearish sentiment. So we go short right there. We'll go 3 for 3, and they're absolute monsters. There it goes. Look at that, $3 on Silo. We just took some out right there. This thing might not stop.
It might not stop, but the market is not stopping either. We're headed back in. I only have one position. One stock came to our level. Test of 19 on Mara. One in on the curl. This time, always try to preach patience or talk patience, but I feel a little bit better about this one. Waited for it to make the top, get the wick high. When it failed the high, then jump into the short on the mean revert, right back into the low of 18.5. Risk about 5 cents if you take an average price there, because I have an upward entry, and we'll work it back into that low. Still nothing to be said about QBTS. It broke 6.
Come on, Tesla.
So you can't, it didn't get the breakdown $6. I didn't get a fill when it broke that low. Remember, these stocks are SSR, so short sell restricted. 40% to the downside on QBTS, and it's also Rigetti as well. All these names absolutely bleeding. 40% now on Rigetti, is that just broke $11 to the downside. Next available pop, I mean, that's all you can try to do is hit the even dollar break or take the next available pop. In one for one, as you start to head nastily to the downside. Yikes. Why are there no halts on?
Dude, we are $1.80 in the money, and our price is $1.80. Like, I don't know why Silo's not even holding up there as well, but it's not. And right now, Tesla, big trades again, man. As we start to get out of some of this, as we start to head a little lower, I don't want to like just get out of everything on Tesla because we want to make sure that, you know, if the move does, I mean, there we take another 50 fill, but if the move really does continue to the downside, we want to make sure that we do have some shares because, again, over and over and over again, we're posting up these levels. There it is. Holy crap, Neil. This is really starting to get going now as Tesla down into 395, starting to get lower right now. You're here for banger trades. Neil's got on the Mara. I've got on AMD now, $1 in the money, $4 in the money, Sharif, right now as the traders are in the building again today, down into 394 one more time for Tesla as that goes downside here. So the banger on Mara, Silo's on here as well, AMD's kicking. We're good to go right now. Watch out for Crypto, 95 and change. We're doing good, man. We are almost out of all of Silo up here at 3 and change.
Rock star to the upside is Silo, but the market just broke and changes downside. Everybody watch out. First pop into $6 on QBTS. Finally made some kind of a green candle since the open. Prior high is at 610. I'm going to give it to about 615.